Hello viewers, my name is Chase Clover, and this is my preview of the July 16th, 2014 edition of USW Wednesday Night Intensity. This is my first preview of Intensity, and the first, or in the start of that I've done on this channel. And this video will not be as long as the regular Intensity reviews, or the pay-per-view previews, or the reviews, because it hasn't been shown yet. It actually hasn't been taped yet either. But the matches are pre-released, not through the website, but through like Twitter or something like that. But there are, let's see, 6 matches scheduled for this show. And it looks pretty, as I take a look down the lineup, it looks kind of rounded out. It looks like they had, a chance to start the I don't know. The matches, they seem like they could start up something. Like maybe the USW is trying to start up rivalries, or maybe USW is simply trying to build up hype for the pay-per-views. And, with Ultimate Consequence coming up, that would be, a good idea to have hype for your upcoming pay-per-view, which, let me see, I wonder if I have the list. I believe I do. Your upcoming pay-per-view in Boston, Massachusetts. So, being as you've got, a big pay-per-view that, is one of your biggest pay-per-views coming up very soon, you want to have hype for it, and it's also in Boston, Massachusetts, so you want to get your money's worth. I have records of what, their financial gain and their financial loss is for, the renting of the arenas or coliseums or whatever, and I've gathered some of that information. And Ultimate Consequence and Intensity, it's about $1,500 per show, which is $1,500, and there's only 2 shows in Boston, Massachusetts, because Ultimate Consequence happens, and then Intensity happens, and after that, we go to Brooklyn with Outcast, and then those intensities. And actually, the price raises, throughout the weeks, because now it's $15,000 per show, which will be $3,000, for Ultimate Consequence of those intensities. You have $2,750 per show for Outcast in those intensities. That's about 5 shows. Then another 5 shows with Capital Carnage and Intensity is about $3,650 per show. And then afterwards, you have 4 shows with Top Rope and then Intensities, which is $4,445 per show. And also having, being as, their home Coliseum in Hartford, Connecticut, throughout the rest of the year, and throughout a few other events, starting in 2015, it's about $24,500 per month to rent out the Memorial Coliseum. And, the organization is a $1 million organization, and not $1 million. It's got like millions of dollars that is in its financial funds, and they can afford to rent out this Coliseum throughout this year and through next year, without gaining any revenue. But they continuously grow day in and day out, and this financial gain is starting to seem like nothing compared to USW. USW has already made, 10 million plus in financial gains, and those are going to, let's see, those are going to their events and their pay-per-views, as well as the rental of their Coliseum. Also, their contracts for C show performers is $10,000 per year. B show, $20,000. A show, $25,000. Legend contracts, it's $100,000. And then also they have to pay Byte Interactive and Namco Bandai for their production for the video games that they have. And that's really the information I got. Those are the key pieces of information that I got. And yeah, they've raised over $10 million, so I wouldn't worry about financial funds with USW. They're nowhere near the trouble that TNA would have. And even though they wouldn't have the money to buy out, like, Spike Television for a spot instead of, GFW, because GFW is on it as, widely known, and also they have a lot more than $10 million, to their name. So, and being as GFW as, the kind of, whatever that it would take to get somebody to pay off loans or whatever. I feel like GFW would have a better place than USW at the moment in time. I'm just reading down the matchup list for USW, but I've already talked for a while. Let me get into the preview of the intensity that's coming up. The first match, Prophecy and DHIG facing Benny Franklin and Ezra Hills. I've been waiting for that tag team, Benny Franklin and Ezra Hills, to team up, because that's kind of that's... Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Huh. That's why the points weren't given out. Okay. I realize now that the Bulletproof series is almost over. Apparently, Prophecy and DHRG are teaming up to face Benny Franklin and Ezra Hills. Franklin and Hills, I've been waiting for those, that tag team. But Prophecy and DHRG are teaming up, apparently because the Bulletproof series is over. Well, almost over, because that apparently Ultimate Consequence is Prophecy vs. DHIG in the finals to see who wins the title shot at Bulletproof. So, it looks like the Bulletproof series is almost over, guys. I'm not even sure how that happened, because I don't think DHIG is in the top spot. I think it's still Rush. Maybe they went for a performance. Oh, that may be why. I think Rush quit the USW. That may be why. Because if you think about it, they didn't have points for last week. Rush fought last week, and he had that momentum. And then he kind of walked slowly up the ramp. Maybe that's why. I think Rush may have quit USW. Either that or his contract expired. Wait. I don't think... No, Rush's contract expires in January. Maybe he asked for an early release, I don't know, but he's still, a few months away. So, I guess it's probably... Rush may have ended up quitting USW, so... well, nothing I can do about it. Prophecy and DHIG, Benny Franklin and Ezra Hills. I'm gonna go with Benny Franklin and Ezra Hills winning this match, only because they're a tag team, and I feel like Prophecy and DHIG are gonna have struggles, because they're gonna be the ones facing each other at Ultimate Consequence for that top spot, so, they would want the momentum, and, that's how it works a lot of the time, with professional wrestling promotions. The second match is Crimson Red vs. BP Fierce. I believe Crimson Red's the Extreme Champion. I don't know why BP Fierce is facing him. Maybe it's a filler match, and I feel like there's gonna be some kind of attack or some kind of script that's going to happen. So I think it's gonna be Crimson Red winning. I think that attack will be counteracted. Or, no, I think BP Fierce is going to win, because I think that attack will take Crimson Red out of his game. Third match is Mojigeda versus Fernandez with Gringo in his corner. I'm gonna go with Mojigeda winning this match because I feel like Western Light's gonna do something. Because you saw Mojigeda and Western Light talking, it looks like they're friends, or trying to get some kind of connection going, to try to take down these other guys. So I wouldn't be surprised if Mojigeda were to win because of Western Light helping him out. So yeah. Fourth match, Switchblade and Dwayne Porter versus Blade and Dustin Raymond. Maybe they're trying to set up a Dwayne Porter versus Dustin Raymond feud. Maybe they're trying to set up a Switchblade Blade feud. Maybe this is just, momentum going in. I think it's going to be Blade and Dustin Raymond. Fifth match, Capital and Alex versus Lone Wolf and George Martin. I'm wondering if that's going to be an Alex and George Martin feud and a Capital and Lone Wolf feud. That could be pretty cool. I think Lone Wolf and George Martin are going to win this match. Sixth match is the final match, and it's Enigma versus Yo-Yo Joe. I'm gonna go with Enigma in this match. And also, there have been talks, and I think you may know where I'm going with this. If you don't, then, go back to my earlier USW review videos. I believe it was my first review. It was the one before Called Greatness 9. And it was talking about how there was a performer that I think was going to return. And I'm guessing because it's been rumored that there's going to be a performer returning, I think it's Derek Carter. Because Derek Carter has been promoted for a while now. And it's been out there that he's re-signed with USW. So, now that he's signed under contract within a year, and I believe that contract is non-negotiable, so I don't think he's able to get out of the contract early, so it looks like we'll be seeing him until at least maybe beginning of 2015, so they'll do something with him, and I think it's gonna be either this week or next week. It could be this week, because if USW is trying to get into that, rivalry and hype build-up and storyline type of promotion, then I think they would want Dwayne or Derek Carter to come back at at 2 weeks before Ultimate Consequence, so that way they can do something between him and probably Enigma, because Enigma doesn't have anyone to face for the championship at Ultimate Consequence, so possibly him and Enigma doing something, and so if they were to do it next week, then I guess it may just become something that was completely unexpected. Maybe Derek Carter comes out and Enigma ends up attacking him. Something that could happen. Now that I think about it, I think I could see Derek Carter becoming heel. Because the whole thing with the game, the video game, and Zach Hardy being on the cover is not many people are getting the game because Zach Hardy's on the cover. And they feel like USW planned this, and so they feel betrayed. So I wouldn't be shocked if Derek Carter were to turn heel. You would have a heel versus heel match at Ultimate Consequence, and turn Zach Hardy back to face because it's not working out with him as a heel. Now, as much as I kind of despise Zach Hardy's heel character, as much as I kind of like his heel character because it's a change and we haven't seen him, as a heel within, 6 years, since he started, wrestling, and back when, he wasn't really known as Zach Hardy, he was really known as, the guy who's trying to make a name for himself. Back when he was a heel back then, he broke that streak a few weeks ago, and really kind of shocked the world, so, yeah, I think they can go somewhere with Derek Carter being a heel, because then you can turn your face back into a face, and you can have that face and heel rivalry, and I think that, rivalry can go on for a while, and be built up, because, think about what they did with Zach Hardy and Morbid. When they had Zach Hardy confront Morbid at Cold Greatness 8, and talk about how he wanted to face him, at Cold Greatness 8 and wanted to finally see who was the bigger man. And, they had that promo. And then they had Morbid disappear for a while. Then Zach Hardy got injured. And then came back, got injured again. And then they both come back at the same night, the night after after the main event. And then they both have these kind of, things going on within the intensities on the pay-per-views. Building up to Call to Greatness 9, where Zach Hardy wins, and kind of shifts, the gears into the Zach Hardy era, the Undefeated era. I think that's where they shift the gears into, and I wouldn't be surprised if you saw Enigma turn face. And maybe they could get him back to Zach Hardy. Maybe they'll keep him as Enigma. I don't see this Enigma character dying off, based off, it's pretty new, pretty relevant. It's been there since a few months. And so I would expect it to be at least until Bulletproof. That's maybe when they could take it off and have him come back as Zach Hardy. I think they're trying to get him as Lake. And I think they've, started, considering USW, tries to book the matches, and it takes a while because you never know who's going to win. So they try to take a while to see, like with Zach Hardy and Morbid thing, they would script, oh, Morbid wins, and then he gets into a rivalry with this guy. They script Zach Hardy wins, he gets into a rivalry with this guy. They kind of script it ahead of time, and not to have a particular wrestler win, but to script it ahead of time, being as, if you win, you're gonna do this. So they script their bookings a little bit, beforehand, so that way they have a backup plan. So it takes a while to do this kind of things. So, I think they, considering they're probably already booking Lake to come into the picture, I feel that they're just gonna, keep Lake out of the picture and have it just be Enigma. Because that would be pretty cool. Just have Enigma and, Liberate by Disturbed for a few more months, and then we get to go back to Zach Hardy and having, save us, Zach Hardy, come on, come back, And I mean, even the biggest Hardy haters, now that Zach Hardy's, heel, and because now that he is a heel and there are a lot of people who loved him, he was a face and everybody loved having him as a face, as a good guy, and now, you'll get to see Enigma, and for a little bit you get to see him as a bad guy.